Carnival Cruise Line has a reputation problem. The rowdy behavior, the fights, program changes that punish longtime Carnival loyalists, all leading many cruisers to say they'll never sail with Carnival again. But here's what they're not telling you. Carnival has been quietly making some serious changes that fix the exact problems that most cruisers complain about. Today I'm breaking down exactly what has changed and what has not, so that you can decide if Carnival is worth your money or if you should cruise elsewhere. I'm Gary with Optimal Cruising, bringing you fresh cruise advice, money-saving hacks, and secret strategies the cruise lines don't advertise. I took my very first cruise on Carnival decades ago. And over the years, many things have changed with this cruise line. But on my last Carnival cruise this month, I realized that they are making a real effort to make some positive changes. Now, everybody's heard of all of the bad behavior, the fights that are commonly associated with Carnival Cruise Line and have been over recent years. But today, you're going to find uniformed security officers posted in public areas throughout the ship, especially where people tend to congregate, like on the Lido deck, by the pool. And you're going to see them, and that's the point, because the visual representation of a consequence deters most people from engaging in this kind of behavior in the first place. Now, it's not a cure-all, but the numbers speak for themselves. The bad behavior incidents and fights on board Carnival cruise ships have been down in the past 12 months. And at least if something does occur, there's people right there. They don't have to run from some other area of the ship. And that helps resolve these situations more quickly and before they get too escalated. And Carnival wants this known to all their guests. In fact, it's the only cruise line that I've ever been on. When you walk into your cabin now, you get a letter from Carnival explaining what their rules and policies are regarding bad behavior and mistreatment of other guests or other staff. And these terms specifically lay out the consequences, which could be being kicked off the ship at the next port of call or being banned from the cruise line for life. Carnival makes no bones about their tough stance on bad behavior now, and that should make all cruisers feel a lot more comfortable. But that's not the only thing that's been all over social media lately about Carnival. A lot of people have been saying that the food quality has gone down. One thing I really noticed on my last Carnival cruise is that they are doing a lot of work behind the scenes upgrading their food quality in all aspects, including in the main dining room. Now, the last Carnival cruise I was on was one of their slightly older ships, the Carnival Conquest, but the food in the main dining room surpassed what I have seen in recent cruises on Royal Caribbean, MSC, and Norwegian. It was really all out, good quality, great presentation, and more portion size or bigger portion sizes than what I'd been used to. And then as a result of Carnival's Fun Ship 2.0 upgrade process, which has been going on over the past decade, all ships now have these standard free specialty venues that most people who've been on Carnival look forward to, and it brings them back. And this includes Guy's Burgers, Shaq's Chicken, and the special Blue Iguana Mexican restaurant. And these are places where the food quality is really superb. It's like going to a smash burger or something back home. You're gonna get just as good of a burger on this ship, which is not the case on a lot of other cruise lines. And they're made fresh to order, which makes that food quality, in my opinion, go up a notch. Next, I'm going to get to one of the biggest problems Carnival has with their most loyal customers. But first, if you've been on a Carnival cruise recently, let me know in the comments what you think about their food quality. When Carnival announced the changes to their loyalty program last year, I had one cruiser come up to me and swear he'll never sail with Carnival again. He felt left behind, and a lot of cruisers did, because the change, which was announced last year but is going into full effect in September of 2026, cuts out loyalty members who have earned a status level by accumulating a number of cruise nights on Carnival, And if they don't spend a certain amount now every 2 years, they will lose their status. Where previously, once that status level was earned, it was locked in. Carnival received so much backlash from this, from their customers and social media, that they did walk it back a little bit. So now, as of September 1st, if you have achieved the diamond level, which is their highest status level in the loyalty program, you will be grandfathered in and you will be guaranteed to never lose that status. This new program rewards big spenders and penalizes economical cruisers. So if you're the cruiser that typically books an inside cabin, tries to do as many cruises as you can, but you're on a budget and you don't spend a whole lot extra, it's going to be hard for you to gain and maintain that loyalty status. However, for anybody who likes to go big on a cruise, this is a good program, because what people don't talk about is that if you're buying the drink package, if you're taking advantage of the spa, if you're spending money on that ship, it all counts towards your loyalty status. You could take one big cruise, spend a ton of money, and jump all the way up to diamond. In fact, even casino play counts towards your loyalty status starting September 1st. So if you're a big casino player on a cruise ship, Carnival is your new go-to line, because with this loyalty program, you're going to get into that higher status faster, and that's not only going to give you those free cruise perks that all cruise lines give out, but on Carnival, they're going to treat you like you're that top tier loyalty member, and you'll get all those extra perks that go along with that status. And then if you haven't been on a Carnival cruise in over a year, there's something brand new you're going to want to check out. A few months back, it was my first opportunity to experience the new Carnival Beach Club in the Bahamas, Celebration Key. And I was amazed at what they put into this place. It is truly amazing. Carnival invested a ton of money in Celebration Key to compete with Royal Caribbean and some of the other cruise lines that are expanding with this beach club concept. Celebration Key is not a private island. It is on Grand Bahama Island. You can actually take excursions right from Celebration Key and go explore Grand Bahama if you want. But once you see Celebration Key, you may not want to leave. In fact, I didn't. They have everything there. 2 huge sister lagoon pools that could probably accommodate 3 or 4 cruise ships. There were 2 cruise ships in there on the day I was there, and it still looked rather empty. Not to mention, they've really done it out well. They've got water slides for the kids, and they're big kid slides if you want to do them. Those are at an extra charge, but most things are free. All the chairs, the umbrellas, all free. You don't pay extra for any of that. Now, they do have some very nice private waterfront cabanas that you can rent, and they're rather expansive, but if you're on a party cruise or you're with a group of people or your family, it might be something to take advantage of. Some of these even have their own private water slide that goes right into the lagoon. The other thing is there is a free meal you can get on Celebration Key. They have very nice free water stations throughout, easy to get to. The bathrooms are clean, brand new, wonderful. They all have showers and hand and feet wash stations, which is really nice. And the beach is really nice at Celebration Key too. Although the sand is a bit more rocky than what I would like to see, but when you're dealing with a man-made place like this, that's kind of what you're getting. Now, people ask if the Cheers package is covered on Celebration Key, and no, it is not. All drinks are a la carte. You have to pay for them, but I will tell you, the drinks that they make on Celebration Key are top quality. They're not watered down. They're not your typical all-you-can-drink package watered down drink. They are the real deal. So if you buy a drink or two on Celebration Key, you're going to enjoy it, and the prices are a bit more reasonable than I've seen at other tourist spots. So it's definitely worth it. And they have these nice water bars right by the pool you can swim up to. They have bars and venues everywhere. They're really set up for any type of cruiser. If you just want to spend nothing and sit by the pool, enjoy the water, have your free lunch, you can do that. If you want a luxurious lunch, table service, you want a few drinks, you want to order some extra food, It's all there. It's whatever you want to do. And then a lot of itineraries will also hit Half Moon Cay, which is their private island. Some will hit both Celebration Key and Half Moon Cay. And if you're hitting Half Moon Cay, you will notice that they've made a lot of improvements over the past 5 to 10 years with some new structures. The new dining area, which is a buffet style, is very nice. They have more restrooms, shower spots, feet wash spots, and they have a beautiful bar that's relatively new, overlooking the beach and the ocean, which is amazing. But if you're going to get to Celebration Key or Half Moon Cay, you got to get there on a Carnival ship. And unfortunately, not all ships are created equal. I've been on many Carnival ships. Clearly, the newer Excel class ships have got everything else in the fleet beat. Now, through their revamp program, their 2.0 program, they have upgraded all of their ships. They all now have the specialty restaurants that are free, like the Guy's Burgers, the Blue Iguana, but the older ships in some cases, and you can read the comments, and a lot of cruisers complain about this, that sometimes the rooms can feel a little worn, sometimes the carpeting looks a little worn, and that is true on some of the older ships. If that doesn't really bother you that much, you'll probably find a really good deal on one of those older ships. Otherwise, stick to the Excel class ships. These ships have been built within the past 5 years. They're all relatively new, and they're their biggest, best ships out there right now. Next, I'm going to look at one of Carnival's secret weapons. But first, if you've been on a Carnival ship recently, let me know which one and the condition in the comments below. My last 4 cruises have been on 4 different cruise lines, including Carnival. And hands down, Carnival had the best crew. Now, these are the major cruise lines. I'm not talking about the luxury cruise ships because obviously the service there is another level. But if you're comparing Carnival, Royal Caribbean, MSC, Norwegian, Carnival's crew gets the best reviews. And personally, I experienced that. The people are super friendly. They want you to have a good time. And they're into this fun ship atmosphere. They carry it out and make it happen. Carnival Cruise passengers frequently praise crew members by name when they review the cruise line. And that means that that crew member really went above and beyond for that person, worthy of them taking down the name and then making a positive report about it. A lot of the other major cruise lines have let service slip a little bit. On Carnival, I was surprised to see they're still really going all at it with the towel animals. One day we woke up and there was a towel animal on every beach chair by the pool. I mean, how much time and work did that take for all these crew members? They're really into making this a fun experience. And the crew to passenger ratio on Carnival is still 1-3. That's pretty good for a cruise line these days. Carnival has long been known as the fun ship, the party ship. In fact, that's why I went on them when I was really young, because I was looking for that kind of atmosphere. But even on my last cruise, I didn't notice it overly obnoxious or too much for anybody. In fact, I noticed a slightly different vibe at different areas of the ship. There were some adults-only areas that were extremely quiet and free for anybody to access as long as you were 18 or older. A lot of the rules are a bit more lax. The main dining room dress code is typically casual. They don't stick to the formal night stuff. I mean, they're not going to let you walk in there in your swimsuit, but as long as you're covered appropriately, you can wear shorts and a t-shirt and you're going to be fine. So if you're looking for a more elegant experience on your cruise, you might want to pass by Carnival. But if you're looking for a more casual but high energy cruising experience, Carnival's definitely for you. And this next item probably makes Carnival one of the best deals for a lot of cruisers. I'll tell you about that next. But first, speaking of deals, we maintain a list of the best cruise deals you can book right now. If you'd like a copy, just comment deals or click on the deals link in our description. One of the advantages Carnival has over a lot of their competitors is their accessibility. And by that, I mean that most people can drive to one of their ports. Unless you're in the middle of the country, you can find a Carnival cruise port near you. They sail out of more than 20 ports, which gives you a lot of options on going on that cruise. You don't always have to fly to Florida or fly to one of the big ports out west. But even if you live in the middle of the country and out of driving range from any of the waters that connect to the oceans, it still gives you a lot of options of where you can fly to get on a ship. It doesn't have to be Miami. It doesn't have to be Florida. You can look at a lot of other options that might be closer and cheaper for you, and Carnival offers that. So it gives a lot more people the ability to get on a cruise. In addition, they offer some of the most convenient and flexible time options with 3 and 4 day cruises. Especially if you're new to cruising and you just want to try one out, Carnival has some of the most 3 and 4 day itineraries out there, which gives you a taste of it without locking in for a long time in case you don't like it or in case you don't like Carnival. Try them out at one of these short cruises. And then there is one thing that Carnival is still the best at sea. I'll get to that next, but first, if you would take a minute and subscribe to our channel, hit that like button. It helps us grow and we'll continue to bring you cruising updates. Carnival makes it relatively easy for the average person to purchase the drink package because they've kept the price reasonably low. At the time of this video's recording, the Carnival Cheers package was still about $60 a day per person. That's considerably lower than their major competitors. Now, some people complain that they cap it at 15 drinks a day, but honestly, 15 drinks a day is not a limit most of us are gonna get to. And then if you're a light drinker, their a la carte prices are not outrageous. They're slightly less than some of their major competitors, which gives you the opportunity to enjoy yourself a little bit without feeling like you're throwing away money. The bottom line is Carnival is not trying to be Viking. Carnival has its own niche, the fun ship, the family-oriented ship, and they are trying to prove that by locking down on some of the problems with bad behavior that they've had in the past. So if you're looking for that elevated cruising experience, Carnival's probably not the way you want to go. But if you're looking for a fun, energetic cruise with a lot of extras that many cruisers say are superior to their competition, then you've got to try Carnival out for yourself or stick with it and see what's changed. But wherever you decide to book your next cruise, there are a lot of mistakes that cruisers make when they get on board, which end up costing them a lot of money. I'll tell you how to avoid those right here.